JBN, we keep you informed. Another Chinese business operator robbed. The Lucy police in Hanover have launched a manhunt for a group of armed men who reportedly carried out $1 million robbery at a Chinese-operated supermarket in Dyers in the parish on Monday morning. The incident occurred at the Dyers supermarket. Reports by the police are that shortly after 8:30 a.m., the owner was opening the establishment when a motorcar drove to the front of the supermarket. 4 men armed with handguns jumped out and entered the supermarket. They held the occupants at gunpoint and proceeded to rob the proprietor of cash, cigarettes, phone cards, and other items valued at more than $1 million before escaping in the vehicle. Man shot and killed in St. Anne. Detectives attached to the St. Anne division are probing the circumstances surrounding the shooting death of a man in Fern Gully, St. Anne on Monday, March 2. The deceased has been identified as 27-year-old Jamal Barker, a laborer of Parrytown, St. Anne. Reports by the Ocho-Rice police are that about 7 p.m., Barker was sitting along the roadway with a group of friends when they were approached by a lone man who opened fire, hitting Barker before fleeing the scene. The police were summoned, and upon arrival, Barker was seen lying along the roadway with multiple gunshot wounds to his head. He was transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Firearm handed over to the police. St. James man arrested. A 9mm pistol and 2 9mm rounds of ammunition were handed over to the police after a confrontation in Richmond Hill in Catadupa, St. James on Wednesday. 1 man was arrested following the incident. The Cambridge police report that about 8:15 a.m. a confrontation ensued between 2 men in the community. During the altercation, the suspect reportedly pulled a gun at the complainant and attempted to shoot him. The complainant then reportedly used a machete to chop the suspect. The gun fell to the ground and the complainant handed it over to the police. Sometime later, the suspect turned up at the hospital with chop wounds. He was treated and admitted under police guard. Westmoreland's most wanted pleads guilty to murder charges. A man who was listed as Westmoreland's most wanted has pleaded guilty to 2 murders. Davion Brown, 27, otherwise known as Balti, pleaded guilty last week before the Westmoreland Circuit Court. Brown, who was the alleged leader of the Sterling gang in Westmoreland, is to be sentenced on Wednesday for the August 2017 murder of 23-year-old Ocelia Hall and the November 27 killing of 40-year-old Gerald Anthony Denton. Hall, who was employed to a supermarket on Great George's Street in Savlamar, was shot dead in front of his colleagues and shoppers. The attack was captured on surveillance cameras. Brown pleaded guilty to killing Denton on Louis Street in Savlamar. Murder increased by 12% so far this year. Latest data from the Police High Command show a 12% increase in murders so far this year. Some 233 cases of homicide were recorded between January 1 and February 29, compared to 209 during the same period last year. The St. Andrew South Police Division, which is under a state of emergency, recorded 28 murders, the highest of the 2-month period, followed by St. Andrew North with 27, St. Catherine South with 22, and Clarendon 20. There was a 285% increase in murders in St. Andrew North. St. James and Westmoreland, which were under state of emergency SOE, recorded major reductions in murders. Some 104 illegal guns and 14,000 rounds of ammunition were seized by the security forces during the 2 months. There were reductions in all other major crimes such as shootings, rape, aggravated assault, robbery, break-ins, and larceny. Handcart man gets wicked beating. Fingers allegedly broken by municipal cop. A handcart operator was beaten in Falmouth, Trelawney, by a member of the municipal police, leaving him with 2 broken fingers. Charles Williams, who goes by the name Mankind, described the ordeal, which took place last Tuesday, as a wicked act. He said that the municipal policeman had beaten up another handcart man the previous day. Williams said that the official was in the process of taking his cart away, so he held onto the cart. I reversed the cart, and I said, "Just school, man," and him just turned around and take him back and broke my finger, Williams said. Williams said that the officer told him, "Don't touch it. If you touch it, I'll box you down," because he had his handcart in the pedestrianized area of the resort town. The municipal corporation has posted notices in the town stating that no handcart is allowed to park on certain streets. It warned that if seen, they will be removed. Reduced to tears yesterday as he spoke, Williams said the municipal policeman was most daring when he begged him not to seize his cart. "You want on social media too?" Williams said the municipal policeman asked him, believed to be a reference to the previous incident in which another handcart operator was beaten allegedly by the same municipal policeman. That incident went viral on social media. Williams, 46, whose handcart has since been dismantled and dumped at the offices of the Trelawney Municipal Corporation, said he attempted to report the matter to the Falmouth police station and was turned away. "When I went to the police, them tell me say them can't help me. I must go to Indicom," he said. Williams said that doctors told him that his fingers will take at least 6 weeks to heal. He said that while he is in physical pain, that pales in comparison to the feeling of helplessness that has engulfed him. "My mother 90 and I may take care of her. Right now me a big people will know me if you help me out," he said. Job seekers creating housing crisis in MoBay. Robin Russell, chairman of the Montego Bay Chapter of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, has admitted that Montego Bay's housing crisis has come about as a result of the vast number of persons migrating from eastern, central, and other parts of Jamaica in search of jobs in the expanding tourism sector. According to Russell, given the high levels of employment being provided in the tourism sector, as a result of its robust growth, there's a need for more affordable housing solutions for persons coming in St. James to seek jobs. There's a need for significant investment in low to medium price housing solutions. The tourism industry has steadily created more jobs in Montego Bay, and persons from all over Jamaica migrate to our parish to seek employment, he said. According to Russell, unlike in the days when the sugar industry would help to provide affordable housing for sugar workers, the current climate does not offer that kind of scope in tourism. Tourism is based on a free market, and there needs to be continued collaboration between the government and private sector to provide the well-needed affordable housing solutions, said Russell, who is the managing director of Deja All-Inclusive Resorts in Montego Bay, while noting that in recent times, housing projects such as Green Pond, Friendship, Grange, and Spot Valley housing developments have provided up to 5,000 housing solutions. The need for more houses remains very high. Russell strongly opposed the view that a house that costs between 7 million and 11 million Jamaican dollars is outside the range of the average tourism worker. No, it's not. Buying a house will be the most expensive thing anyone will do in their lifetime, and it will take sacrifice and collaboration, he said. The National Housing Trust, NHT, has excellent rates to assist persons who are not making enough money, but the option of joining with someone to assist with this investment is sometimes needed, as no longer can one partner be carrying the entire household, the businessman noted. Meanwhile, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett said urgent and continuous discussions surrounding the affordability of housing for workers, especially those attached to the hotel industry, have been ongoing for some time, and that the formula to fix the housing crisis in Montego Bay is embedded in the policy shift announced by Prime Minister Andrew Holness in the 2019-2020 budget as it relates to how NHT contributors are to benefit going forward. We have searched long and hard for a formula that can provide affordable housing for our workers, and we are proud of the policy shift that the Prime Minister has announced with regard to the NHT menu of benefits, which will see an increase in loan limit, reduced interest rates on NHT mortgages, intergenerational mortgages, and an increase in construction loan limit for NHT lots, Bartlett said. The tourism sector provides direct employment to over 117,000 Jamaicans, while also generating indirect jobs for over another 250,000 Jamaicans. Citing a recently commissioned survey, Bartlett said almost 90% of the country's tourism workers are struggling to meet the criteria for a housing solution through the NHT. The housing condition of hotel workers is of particular concern to me. In fact, a recent survey indicated that over 88% of the workers in the sector cannot even access NHT housing solutions, said the minister. Bartlett said a new window has been opened for hotel workers seeking homes, as $1 billion has been set aside by the Tourism Enhancement Fund, TEF, which along with the Housing Agency of Jamaica, HAJ, will be creating housing solutions for tourism workers. Our tourism workers deserve to live in clean, orderly, structured, and safe communities with appropriate infrastructure. We'll go beyond the call of duty to make this a norm across the island, he added. On May 1 last year, interest rates for all NHT beneficiaries decreased by 1%, which saw the trust loan limit jumped by 18% from $5.5 million to $6.5 million. While construction loans will be set at the value of a two-bedroom house in the scheme, where the service lot is purchased instead of the difference between the cost of the lot and the NHT loan limit. Along with that adjustment announced by Prime Minister Holness, the NHT's minimum income band increased from $12,000 per week to $15,000 at the same 0% interest rate, which allowed more persons to access the home grant. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.